Good morning to you.
Good morning out there, everybody.
Good morning, guys. We are just a tad late this morning because I had to get me a walk-in. Pastor was here ready, and I'm the one who was late today. Let's see. Let's get settled here. Good morning, James D. He says top of the morning, light walkers.
Okay, John.
John.
John Greasy.
Yeah, I'm talking to James. Then we can talk to John. Hey, John Greason. All right, baby girl, lay down. Down. All righty. And there is Vincent. Hello, Vincent and CJ.
Yeah, CJ.
Vincent, you in the studio today? Let's see here. Good morning to everybody. We are the Sawyers, and this is another session of Cornerstone.
We made it again.
Yes, we did. Yes, we did. Hey, Jill, and Pearl. Good morning to you guys. Good morning, Sue. Had you on my mind yesterday. Hope everything's good. Hello, Dee Dee and George. And Deb. Hey, Deb. Hey, Sinette. I'm glad you're here, sweetheart. And she says good afternoon because she's coming in from Denmark.
Oh, yeah.
It's a beautiful day here where we are in North Carolina. I hope it's beautiful wherever you are as well. Let's see who else is here today. There is Sandra. Hey, Sandra. Hope everything is going well for you. Excuse me. Got a frog in there. Excuse me. Hello, Joe.
Mr. Joe. Okay.
How are you guys doing? Brother Kessler.
Brother Kessler.
There's Sissy and brother-in-law. Hey, darling.
There's Tiffany.
And Tiffany's with us today. Yeah, hey, Tiff.
I like that picture. It's pretty good, girl. Jill.
Hello, Gerald. Hope you're feeling well.
Hope so, yeah.
Good to see you here with us. Pastor, you're not quite in the picture for some reason. Let's see what we can do here.
I'm closer than yet.
Okay. Let's see what we can do here. Get you in real good.
Okay.
And there's Pat, and there's Apostle Norman. It's not apostle, is it? It's apostle. How about just my son in the gospel, Norman? There you go. Hello, Morgan.
Good to see you.
I'd like to acknowledge all you guys. There's Sister Chris. Thank you, Sister Chris, for your gift you sent this week. We meant to call you. Sorry, we're so slack sometimes, but we meant to call you.
Thank you so much for that. That's a new person, isn't it?
No, Diana's been here before.
Okay.
She's Vincent's girlfriend.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. Good to have you with us, dear.
I hope I said she's. That's his friend. I don't know how much of a friend. That's his friend.
Okay.
Yes,
okay.
Yes.
They understand.
Hello, Alicia. All right, we are here, and Ollie's here. I hope you and Yo-Yo are doing well. I enjoyed your broadcast on Friday night with the yoga instructor. He was good. The Advaita yoga, that was really, really good and helpful. And it felt so good just to go through some of that he was talking about. Sinette says it's raining and snowing where she is.
Wow.
Typical winter. Well, our winter is a little milder. We have snow and ice more this year than we normally do. Normally we had in quite a while, but we are having a really mild one right now.
You know, you guys are you guys are ready, all of you. And I'm not just saying this because I'm over here hosting a class. I'm saying what I'm going to say to you because I know my knower. Okay. That some of you guys are ready to move on in a little deeper into your true identity.
Yeah.
Because some of you are going through some very sensitive areas that you designed before coming here that would set you up for an energy experience with God that cannot come out of a book. Nor is it on paper.
Yes.
You know, I had the experience of going to the cross and seeing Jesus on it. Whether it be true or not, I don't care.
You had the experience.
I had the experience.
Yes.
But here's the strangest thing about it. as I sit there in the study, and I didn't sit there to look at who was standing in front, I wondered who was standing behind him.
Behind him?
Behind him, behind the cross.
Okay.
So I saw myself, what do you call it, 100 degrees, where you see all around you?
360.
360 degrees. I could see everything around. But I looked and I saw myself in front with his mother and all of them.
Mm-hmm.
And I decided to walk behind the cross.
Okay.
When I got back there, I was thinking I was going to see the stripes and everything that he beat him with.
What you expected to see.
Yeah, what I expected to see.
More scars from the crucifixion.
Yeah. When I looked up at the backside of Jesus' back on the cross, I saw us.
Mm-hmm.
And that's nothing in the book. Any book would say this. My own personal experience, I saw the 39 stripes, or whatever you call it, on my back.
Yeah.
And then I knew what it meant when he said, we bear in our bodies the marks of the Lord Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
Now, wait a minute. Let me get me a shot here because I'm running dry.
Well, while you're getting a shot, I want to acknowledge a few people who came in that we didn't acknowledge. Laverne, hey, sweetheart, and Vincent Crenshaw. Hey, Vincent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Good morning to you, Vincent. And Sinette says, thank you for recording the session from Tuesday. You're welcome, sweetie. They're all recorded. Thank you for letting us know that you enjoyed it. Hello, Adele and Judy Jude. She said,
right.
yes, we are ready. We are ready. David Singleton, can you let us know where you're coming in? I don't know if I remember your name popping in here before. Let us know if we've seen you and where you're coming in from. Good morning, Odessa Bell and Brother Blue. Hadn't seen you on here in a while. Good to see you. And Tanita.
It is.
All right. Now, jump on in.
It is one of the most awesome things to go in and find out that what happened to us in enlightenment and waking up, it didn't come from inside of the outside of the suit.
Yeah.
It came from inside of this dimensional suit that we wear. I call it a suit and a car.
It's the vehicle.
The vehicle. We drive around in this thing.
Yeah.
But consciousness was there from day one, waiting for its dimensional cycle to start. And part of that dimensional cycle was the first step that had to be done, and that you would experience that part of you that was asleep waking up.
Yes.
This is what the church has been battling with. They think it comes on them, and there is a possibility that is true. But let's go on into what is fact. We don't have to look for God anymore to come into our services and come into this class. God is here because we are here. He is now because we are now. And as you discern this, most of you have this awareness, and I'm saying this to you, this awareness is going to get stronger and stronger, because some of the things that are going on with the conflicts, everything, see, bread ain't going up just because of inflation. Things are not getting rough because of this time. These things that are coming up because of us.
Yes.
Now, when I say us, I'm not just trying to be special. This is for the us universe. Everybody, as the child of God. Mm-hmm. You got to move on into your full awareness, because that's what you came here for. Yeah. There are thousands of light beings who wanted to come here, and some of them had been here, but they won't be back because it's overcrowded.
Yes.
And what we did, we got a place in there, and that's the reason why when children come, and there's abortion, and then there's birth defects and things like that, this is not something that somebody is doing because they hate birth and they hate giving birth to a child because they're young. These are all infinite decisions that were set in motion before the foundation of the world, that they would come and then that way would go back. Some just get a taste of this dimension and have to go back. Once you understand the love of God in its fullness, you'll understand why we chose certain obstacles to go through, and we chose in our infinite mind to breathe in and to blow out the air of humanity, finding out the truth of who it is that created all things, and that would be us. And when I say us, I'm not trying to pat you on the back. I'm just telling you like it is. And now that I found this out, I've said, oh glory, I feel in such a relaxing state inside of me, and not so much struggling trying to find out what God's will is. You don't talk this stuff because you read it, and you don't talk this stuff because you heard one of the sages talk about it. You find it out. See, I didn't know anything about this stuff. Go ahead.
Now, you're on a roll. I just want to jump in for a second. So basically what you're saying, and I think I understand exactly what you mean. It's a becoming consciously aware of God in the midst of us.
Yeah, and when that happens, that's time. We call it time, but it's the event arising.
Yeah.
Event arising.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah. Sue says, "No more looking, no more searching. We are Him, or He is us."
That's right.
And Judy says, "This knowing is no longer a belief or perception.
Oh God,
or concept. It is a pure knowing."
It is, and you know what? There are some that come here with already the smell and the fragrance of what we're talking about, and then there are some here that come. Now I give you an example. I went to the doctor this week, and they wanted to draw blood for their test. When I went in, the little short lady was standing there and said, "What's your arm?" I said, "Well, my left shoulder has been replaced." And I said, "I've injured this right shoulder by falling 3 times in the snow." And I said, she got scared because she didn't know which arm to take. I said, "Take this one." And she searched around, and I said, "My vein will run from you because they don't want to be messed with."
And you created that by saying that.
Yeah, I did. And they did. But she stopped them, and she was really tremendous. Oh, she was excellent. Wasn't no pain and nothing. She just went in there.
Because he's squeamish of needles.
And I told her, I said, "I just don't like needles."
Yeah.
Well, anyway, she got through with that and was working it and putting a Band-Aid in. I said, "Sweetheart, I thank you and I appreciate you doing this." But I said, I had an experience on the other side. She looked at me, "What you mean other side?" I said, I had like a near-death experience on the other side where I saw where all the people in this complex, doctors and nurses and everything, had their basic training in a school and a dimension before they all come here. She looked at me right in front. She said, "Oh Lord, let me get him out of here." And she didn't know me. She just I was just talking to him, and I said, "The Lord showed me." I said, "I had a chance to see the Lord in person, and He showed me different parts of Him and things like that."
Well, you have to admit that's a lot to throw on a person.
I know it is, but you see, I wanted to talk to her other than herself. I looked at her and I could see Him. And so what triggered me into this, I'm going to tell you the truth, what triggered me into talking to people like this, it wasn't getting saved. It had nothing to do with the church. It had...
Can I raise your hand up just a little bit?
Yeah, it didn't have anything to do with the Methodist, the Catholic, the holiness. When I left my house and went to pick my wife up that morning, my room that I was staying in with my uncle was cold as ice. In my sleep, I had the experience of coming out of my body and kneeling down at my bed and praying. I saw myself get back in the bed, and I heard, for the first time in my life, God speak to me. But what He spoke to me about was getting up and getting down on my knees and praying again. I said back to him, and didn't have no idea the way spirit will operate. I said to him, no. I said, besides, I am cold. The fire's going out and the floor is cold, and I'm not getting up praying anymore. He didn't seem like he was a bit disturbed by that. Something had happened, and I couldn't stop it because I was ready to meet myself, and I didn't know what it was. So I went on in and got to sleep. That next morning, I got up, put my tie on, one of them clip-on ties, and I locked it on. And I didn't know. I know she was waiting, but I was gonna go to church because I wanted to be with her. I didn't want to I didn't want to stay home. And I was staying there, and my aunt came in there to ask me, did I want anything to eat? You know, it's like when that event took place of awareness. It's like they didn't know, but some part of them knew something had happened to me. Because they didn't mess with me too much. And I was trying my best to get out of the house because I didn't want them to see me crying like a little boy.
Yeah.
I kept noticing.
Well, one of the things I remember, and it still rings true about your, I'll call it your conversion experience, is that you were so conscious of God and its presence in you that it caused you to become a whole lot more tender-hearted. Yeah. And you would cry really, really easy and still do because your heart is so open open. And sometimes I get concerned for you because your heart is so open, and that's something that happened to you because of your conversion experience.
Well, I didn't know nothing else to do but to hurry up and get out the house.
Right.
But I kept noticing when I turned around, that pinstripe Botany 500, I turned around.
That was shiny.
Yeah, oh, it was. That was a seat.
Because you didn't have but one seat.
Didn't have but one. And I turned my head and looked, and that was Jesus behind me. But the way I turned my head was through awareness. I didn't turn my physical body so much as I turned my awareness, and I could look and see out the top of my head, and there he was.
And because we are awareness, and that's what we are. We're not this body, and your body didn't have to turn. Your head didn't have to turn because you are awareness, and that awareness became aware of God.
Now, the way she's explaining this, the way we talk about it, at that time, it wouldn't have meant anything to me because this is all new for me. Like some of y'all may have known something about church, some of you didn't. But I knew about church.
You knew of church.
Yeah, but
you didn't
like
have
this.
a church life.
No,
you didn't have a church life.
Now,
I had a church life.
See,
but I wasn't in church at the time.
Yeah. Yes. I always wanted to wait till after 1 o'clock because the stores might open that.
Well, back in the day,
Buses
nobody did a whole lot while
right.
during church hours. You didn't. It was kind of a taboo to go out while people were in church, and in fact, businesses didn't even open up on Sunday at all, and it's just the way it was. That was our experience. Let's see what Buzz is saying. If everything is consciousness and negative thoughts can bring negative results, I've wondered if disabilities may be a result of negative thinking. I hope that's not offensive to say. It's not offensive at all, Buzz. In fact, I used to think that our thinking caused more of the experiences that we have, but I've begun to understand. I know that it can. Our thoughts can create. They can also miscreate. But I also know that because of our sacred script, our pre-earth sacred contract, there are some things that are happening or taking place because it has been written in our script for it to happen. However, everything that is written into our script to happen is designed and customized especially for us to remember who we are. And a lot of times it's very, very challenging to go through those things. And I used to say we go through it until the lesson is learned. But I realize now we go through those things to hear a message. And the message may come in loud and clear. And there are thousands of people who have disabilities who are very enlightened and bring presence with them because they're enlightened. And so I don't think it's all because of negative thinking. So I hope I answered that for you. And Vincent says, the soul seeks a seeker, the spirit knows, which is a knower, the alignment is in the rest. And yes, and there is a point, Vincent, where the seeker disappears. And that's when the seeker finds God, there's nothing else to seek. So it automatically disappears. So finding God is to find God inside yourself. When you find God inside yourself and become consciously aware of God within you, and not so much, and I've said this over and over and over again because it bears repeating, not in you like a raisin in a bun, compartmentalized, but in you like the sugar in that bun, where you cannot separate you from it. And that becoming aware of that, and you're in it becoming aware of yourself, your true self.
Buzz, let me share this with you. When I saw behind closed doors the truth that we chose to come here, and that this dimension, Buzz, this dimension was designed for heavy hitters. We are on a team that came here to take the test of being human and divine.
You said heavy hitters. I call it brave souls.
Oh, what you talking about?
Courageous souls.
The hugs that we give to people, the words that we say to people effortlessly, that I see Christ in you. And you saying that to them, and you in a wheelchair, you saying that to them, and you just had a court case to come up, and the judge didn't rule in favor of you.
You're saying that in a wheelchair, and you're saying God is love, all love, and there you are in a wheelchair. That has to be coming from someplace other than your awareness of being handicapped.
Buzz, your glory, the glory that you are, Buzz, is absolutely amazing.
Yes.
If you could get out of your chair right now and walk,
yes,
you would find out on the other side the truth behind the situation that you're dealing with. Over here, your mind is giving all kinds of thoughts and reasons that you might come up with as to why you are like that. And we call some of it negative thinking. But let me tell you something, Buzz. I know for real that everything that you've gone through to this point to hear what you hear has been under divine order of your eternal self.
yes.
That eternal self name is not Buzz. Whatever your real name is, it is not that. I had to go through this, Brother Buzz.
Brother Buzz.
Brother Buzz. About my childhood and the way I was brought up. Brother Buzz, I know that there are some people went through worse than I could have, but for my moment, it was designed for my evolution.
Evolution.
Evolution. Yeah, I call it evolution. And so, Buzz, I do not play with people that are like you with dealing with things simply because you are one of those beings that decided to come here like this.
And that we know some others who are listening to us this morning that are also having physical challenges.
Yeah.
And some of them not even personal physical challenges, but challenges from their loved ones, and that are having physical challenges. So the thing that I want to say is I've always said this, and I'll say it again. We are not here to set you free, but to let you know that you're already free. And we're not here to teach you.
No.
But we are here to trigger your divine memory. And you have, every last one of you have a spark of a downloaded memory chip.
Yes.
That at some point something triggers that memory, and you have an awakening moment.
Here it is. Before you came into this body, you said to your guides, your facilitators, and counselors around you, your ancient divine instructors in the hall of records and the divine transfer. You said, when I get to earth, I'm going to be in this condition, knowing already that by his stripes we're healed, but I chose to battle this thing in my divine self and act like I'm losing it in my human self. But your human self is going to find out, and is finding out, that when you are through with this course, Brother Buzz, one or two things will happen. You will wake up completely in peace about what you are, or you wake up completely out of it. And I know who you are outside your body. I've experienced outside of mine, but I want you to experience that. And I want you to, when you go over there, you're going to find out that you got nothing wrong with you, and they are waiting on you. And this is not a morbid way of thinking, Brother Buzz. This is the way it is. After you go so far into this enlightenment thing, you must have an experience of being out of it, or in it as Christ, receiving it as a gift to cause you to be a great heroic soldier. Now, they wanted to come here. But I'll tell you this. Excuse me. I've had people come in front of me who was ladies expecting. The baby turned around and went back. It died inside of the mother. Mm-hmm. When they came in front of me, I saw it. I talked to the baby, and it told me what was going on. It went back, and when it did, it came again. But as it did, it had a different body to work with. Buzz, you chose that one. And you might say, I wish I hadn't. Hey, I wish I hadn't chose this one.
In our finite human mind, we would not have.
That's right.
But you were not in your finite human mind when you chose it.
That's right. So now, Buzz, I don't like to mess with people with this kind of stuff, because to talk to them, and I'm getting around, and you're not, I have to have compassion to understand you. Jesus said in the book that he was those that were sick and was visited, or those that were in pain and distorted about their life. He was them. Didn't say anything about church. Didn't say anything about religion. He just said, if you've done it unto the least of them, you've done it unto me. I say, when he said me, I said, where is it? He said, I'm you. Yes. I'm you going through this. Now I understand how to use. God will let you use the love train. Yes. The love train.
Yes. We got a couple of comments
I would
like to express. It said, Jill says, oftentimes the aha moment coincides with a flood of irrefutable information that the mind cannot refute. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And Sinette says, acceptance of where we are lets the light shine. I have often seen very strong light in people with disabilities when they let go of that identity and just are. They are a lighthouse for others. Yes, ma'am. Yes. And I think, and we talked about this on last, I don't know if it was Tuesday or Sunday of last week, about forgiving the situation and forgiving the disease or ailment or whatever, and allowing yourself to be free from the resentment. I think that's the first step, because healing doesn't begin in the body, it begins in the attitude. And the attitude of gratefulness and the attitude of non-resistance and not resenting brings a lot of freedom and light. As Sinette says, it brings so much more light. It brings a lightness. That's what enlightenment is. It's lightening the burden.
In the brick and mortar life that we were in before the damn panic came, they believed that, Buzz, if anybody had an infirmity like yours, that it was demons in there and they needed to get delivered.
Well, even with the condition that I deal with in my skin, vitiligo, they would equate this to leprosy.
Yeah.
And where Miriam in the Old Testament turned white, and she was cursed. And so a lot of people in our church circles would look at me and say I was cursed because that happened to me.
But it's not
so,
true.
And as Buzz said, he doesn't feel resentment, which is good. But it makes everything more difficult. Of course, it does. It makes everything more difficult. I can't get out in the sun like I used to love.
No.
I love getting out in the sun. I can't do that for long periods of time. There are lots of challenges now with what I'm dealing with, so I understand exactly what you mean.
Now, here comes Jesus. Here comes the Christ. And this is something, Buzz, that is said the definition of a word called mystery.
And I don't know why Buzz, you're the topic today. We're centering in on you.
And there's a lot of others.
But there are others that your situation is speaking to.
Yeah.
Yes.
And they're asking God for answers and how to get out of it. You are the definition of a mystery. Those things that are they're out of the range of natural comprehension can only be divine. Divine, understood by divine revelation, insight at such a time that God sees fit. That means that you are in a situation as a deer was made subject to vanity unwillingly.
Yes.
They didn't put themselves out there.
Yes.
But at the same time, Buzz, I'm taking you to a higher consciousness as I have seen in my own life. I would not think that in my infinite self, I was chosen to go through the hell that my mom, my daddy, my uncle, and all my family was taking me through, even through school. God healed me through accepting limitations and seeing that I had to go through it in order to pass this course.
Yes.
Now, here it is.
So Tanita says this. I like what Tanita says. She says, so the least of them is just not others, but ourselves.
That's right.
Yes, it's not. And so when he said, when you've done it unto the least of them, you've done it unto me, he's saying that we are one of those least.
Yeah, we are.
Yes.
And you come to visit this world with that situation and show how you can rise above it. So somebody would say, well, I sure wish it, I sure wish you'd go hit on that, 'cause I'm tired.
But, I want to say this, that enlightenment message, or the direct path of non-duality, the message of non-duality is not to fix situations, but it is to remove you from the identity of the identification with those situations, where that you can have inner peace, and that inner peace, from that inner peace can be born manifested healings or not. It, like Pastor said, it can be a healing, you move out of it, or you become very content in it.
That's right.
Yes.
Now, we are the insight of God.
Yes.
Now, one of the things will have to be done here is that we have to come to a place that's called enjoying the absence of our conditioned self.
Yes.
Now we
Yes.
see
Yes.
The conditions here has to be so noted that we can recognize it with a snap of the finger and
Yes.
not
Yes.
be pulled by it.
So where the paradox comes in is when I know that, as Vincent said, the knower. I know who I am, and I know that because I know who I am, there should be power to change the situation. That's the normal way of thinking. However, this power that's within me, here to manifest, cannot be taught to me or received by me, because I must remember that I have that, that I am that, and I can. Somebody else can tell me that. I mean, we watched this. What's the name of that picture we watched last night with the little Yoda baby?
Oh.
The little Yoda baby.
Oh,
I don't
gosh,
remember the
yeah.
name of it, but it's a sci-fi picture. But there's a little
Steven Spielberg, one of the
yeah,
Star Wars movies.
yeah. There's a little baby Yoda. For those of you who ever watched Star Wars, you know what Yoda is. Yoda was this little creature who had all this power and wisdom, and there's this baby Yoda that's being taught
Trained.
or trained, I should say trained, and it knows that it has power because it's been told that it has power, but it doesn't know its power because it doesn't remember that it has power.
But he's discovering in his experience the little places where he can fill in and perform the miraculous.
It's a remembering of what I'm capable of.
Yes. Your ancient memory.
Yeah.
Your ancient Melchizedek.
And not
memory.
and not knowing what I'm capable of it requires a recognition of what I'm capable of. I want to speak to what Buzz says this time. He says, sometimes I don't want to say things, but I have been thinking about it for a while since I started trying to be mindful. Buzz, you are on target. You are fine. Like we said, when we speak to you, we're speaking to everyone that's listening because they are all having their particular challenge, specific challenges, same as you are. And it's beneficial to every one of us. So when we talk to you, we're talking to everyone. We're talking to ourselves as well. Morgan says, Buzz's comments usually speak to me. That's good. That's good. That's good. This one is no different. One of the things I say is when everything is difficult, nothing truly is. I rejoice that my difficulties have made me a person who can stick it through the hard times. Yes, sweetheart.
Here's a clue.
Yes.
Here's a clue. You can take a 15-inch rim and put it on certain cars. There are certain wheels on certain cars will not take a 15. You can put a 20-inch wheel or a 22-inch wheel on that. The fenders may not take it. But that does not mean that there's not a wheel or a tire that won't fit.
Right.
You chose to fit in a place that many call unfit. That's why you came here with your family to be different by the grace of God, so that do you know there's only one in every family that will pull the redemption deal on everybody in the family, that when they get over there, their whole family will be there because there was something that you went through. This is powerful. I'm telling you,
it's very powerful, and it's awesome because it makes you realize that even if someone does something that I don't like or has or does some harm, and that person had to play a role, and I say that cautiously because I know that's not an easy thing to hear. But I was looking at yesterday, and this is a little bit more, but I was looking at a young man who murdered his girlfriend and his child, and tried to kill his son, and he did it tragically. I mean, it was just gruesome the way he did it, but he had to play that role, and they had to play that role, not so that their personal lives could be changed, but so that others who are watching
Yeah.
and experiencing would be changed. So it's just that way. That's just the way it is. Vincent says, Baby Yoda, that was Baba. That's right, Baba Fett. That's right, or Mandalorian. He worked on that picture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now here's what I'm saying. I want to get the brass tacks and nails down on this thing because I want to tie it down on both sides of the road and work it in the middle. And it's working too. Now, here's what I'm saying. There is no way. There's something in the book that says, if we live by spirit, capital S, if we, the we is the conditioned self, live by the eternal self, spirit, let us, we, the pure self, walk in and through us. That's not something you do. That's something that's being done already. Now, let us not be desirous of vainglory, provoking one another to envy. That means this.
Yeah.
Since I know who I am, I'm going to make people mad. Make them envious because it'll look like I got a special gift and they don't. No. All of us are on the same scale. Now watch this. Watch this. A tomato can't smell itself.
How about a rose?
A rose can't smell itself. A head of cabbage can't smell itself. A tree can't cut its own limbs out. All it can do is stand there and as a subject made subject to vanity. It is subjected to a limitation. Now, here come you. I got a tree out there I've been talking to. We had to finally cut it down to the trunk. But I can promise you the life that's in that tree is still there. And I honor that. Hey, let's hit it like this. Oh, you little buzzers out there, hear this. It seems like, let me say it another way. I'm gonna try to word this thing powerful, strong enough for you. Here it is. It was not intended for us to overcome these things in our human self. The church teach this. They say the Lord did it. The Lord did it. They do not have an idea what it means for the Lord that did it. The Lord who did it. Did you know the Lord who did it is what caused our physical bodies to be born?
Yeah.
Let me say it another way.
Yeah.
Let me say it another way.
Yeah. And you're speaking from the plane of revelation now.
I am.
So
I am.
That's
now,
not coming from memory or from something you read.
It said this. Walk in the spirit, which is your capital S, pure self. And ye shall not fulfill the lust of the false self, flesh. For the false self lusteth against the pure self, and the pure self against the flesh, the false self. And these are contrary one to another, so that you, as the pure self, cannot do the things that the pure self wants to do. So the conflict is there to show you who you are, and an opposite.
You are the one aware of the tug of war.
There you go.
You're not in the tug of war, but you're aware
You're
of
aware
the tug
of it.
war.
You can see it. It's right there. You say, oh, I more than see it. I feel it. I'm in it. Don't worry about it. Oh, look. Let me. I'm sorry. I make it sound like it's all in your hands, and that all you need to do is pray and seek God. No, you don't. No, you don't. The will of God and the presence of God is who you've always been. That's in this thing from the beginning. There is no, you cannot opt out by saying, let me go and seek the Lord about this. Let me go and pray about it. Who do you take with you when you go into prayer? From what position does he answer that? From what position does he hear it from? Right there. right there in your britches, right there in your suit, right there in your living room, right there in this body. Wait. You mean to tell me I got all this inside of me and God ain't doing nothing about it? No, he ain't. But he is. He ain't going to do it the way your monkey mind think it ought to be done.
Right.
He's doing it according to your divine essence.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now, come on, let's take a deep breath on this thing and blow out that powdery dust off of our kitchen stove and out of the place in the house that need to be cleaned and straighten up. And you know, you should sitting back in there feeling depressed and let the house go. Don't clean the windows. Don't straighten up. Just sit there like you're in a pig pen. Don't take no bath. Just stinking just because I can't do nothing about it. The Holy Spirit is doing something about it when you take a step. He's incorporated into your actions.
Yes. I was thinking about you this morning and how that over the years, as long as I've known you, you have gone into the closet. When I say gone into the closet, for those who haven't heard it before, he has a prayer closet. So he's always gone into a closet. Even before we got married, that was his mode. He did that all the time. Mm-hmm. He's always done it. And what I'm beginning to realize is that going into the closet, wherever your closet might be, it might be your bathroom, it might be your bedroom, I don't know. But wherever your secret place is, that's your hall of silence. Your hall of silence is not just a place to go in and commune with God and meditate and to feel better.
Yeah, read your Bible while you're in there.
But it's actually your spiritual laboratory.
It is.
You work whatever you need to work in that place of silence. And that's why the scriptures say, be still and know. That's the very first sign of wisdom is silence. And so going into that solitary confinement is not so you can feel better. It's actually your laboratory.
Old song says that, come on, let me show you where it's at. Come on, let me show you where it's at. Come on and let me show you where it's at. The name of the place. I like it like that. Ah, Lordy.
Yeah.
Hey.
Norman says we are. He's gonna hire us as his praise team.
We gonna. Hey, we're on the road. We're gonna start. Ooh, Lordy. I tell you, ain't nothing like the real thing, y'all. You can't. Oh, boy said you can't beat it with a stick. You can't beat it with an egg beater. Come on here. Let me tell you where it's at.
Sinette says, I just had a call out on someone regarding negative political climate lobby. Oh, I have so much resentment related to negative manipulation, and he was just the drop. Feeling guilt to call out to him on it. It was a boiler overcooked. It gets very interested in the monkey mind part of it. Any thoughts on it? Only thought I have, now he may have some thoughts, the only thought I have is that their character will always act out. The monkey will always act out. And the boiler point is just that is acting out as an identification, a disturbance, and so you choose to forgive it.
You are.
Judy says, get down, Rev.
Oh, Lord. Hey, I come some more songs to come up there once in a while. I may not know the old words to, but I know basic rhythm to them. Let me tell you something. God has got a fresh bakery that's been put in your facilities around you. He's cooking some bread in there, and the fragrance of it is smelling all over town. You got the smell in your nose, and you went over to the place and say, what is going on over here? And God met you at the door and said, we're cooking some holy bread. Would you like to have a piece? Or how about a loaf? You said, will I have to work for it? You said, no. God said, no. God said, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll give you a job where you can work in here and make this bread, but you got to learn the ropes and how we do it. Are you willing to learn what I do by grace and mercy? My God Almighty. He said, if you can handle it, But here's what God said to you. He said, the minute you step in the door, my spirit, your true self, will come up in you. All these events are doing in your life is bringing the spirit of your true identity to the forefront of your consciousness, and it is absolutely mad because it cannot stop it.
Right.
And these different things that's going on is trying to be roadblocks, but they can't stop you. Miss Judy, we're too powerful. And the power we operate in is a mystical awareness. It ain't a power of force. It's called 1 minute I'm here and the next minute I'm there. And you can't change that.
Yeah.
Look here.
Do you really expect to never be disturbed in this earth plane? I mean, come on, let's get real.
Tell it like it is.
There's no way. This is not a utopia where everything is perfect.
Mm-hmm.
So to think that you would never be disturbed is foolish. It's foolish.
Millions of light spirits, light beings wanted to come here in your place.
So we are courageous souls, aren't we?
But you outbidded them. Some had been here and said, I want to come back because they like it. Mm-hmm. Some said, no way, Jose. I don't want to go back to that place. But then God said to a lot of them in near-death experiences, you got to go back because you hadn't finished. Yeah. Let me tell you something, baby. Get ready to see the truth of your identity in a way you never thought it would be. And you'll sit there with tears in your eyes of joy, not sadness. And the main thing you would want, I wish I could wake everybody else up in this world.
Oh, I like what Vincent said. Thank you, Vincent. He said, this is not a magic carpet ride.
No, it's not.
It is continual death of the false self.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. So there's going to be disturbance because as that false self is experiencing near-death experiences, it is going to kick up dust.
I was in a heavenly place in Milwaukee, and there was a little boy in Rainsville, Alabama, I think it was, up in that area.
Now, you said Milwaukee, and then you said Rainsville, Alabama.
I'm thinking about Milwaukee.
You're thinking about two places.
Yeah, I had to go from there up to Rainsville.
You did?
Yeah. Rainsville, Alabama, and Milwaukee right there close.
No.
Yeah, it is.
Really?
Yeah. When I was up there, I had to ride Rainsville, Alabama, and Milwaukee. It's close. And I went up.
Well, yeah, that's right. There was just a time change. But
a time change, the time did change.
Yeah. Okay.
And like you leave out here at 9 o'clock, you get over there.
It's an hour difference.
Yeah,
right?
about 6 o'clock. And
I remember when you prayed in the spirit until the time changed. You prayed all the way from here till Fort Payne, Alabama.
I did.
Where the time changed.
Yeah. Well, there was this little boy that was blind in one eye. No, he was deaf.
He was.
Yeah, he was blind, deaf. Well, anyway,
I thought he was having pain.
I said so many of them I did pray for.
Yeah,
that's right. I got them mixed together. This little boy had arthritis. That's what it was.
He was in pain.
He was in pain, and he was disturbing the service when I went there, and he was crying, and the Lord had already told me, the Spirit had already told me how I can get people to understand that I had been to a place in heaven and walked that 1,000-mile long road with 3 steps.
He gave you evidence.
He gave me evidence of it, and he brought to my mind about the blue paint, the blue color. Long story short, I called a lady up, and just when he started talking to me about that place I'd been to, I looked at this lady's eyes. They were brown as this table we have here. And I didn't do nothing, but I just set her down right in front, and all of a sudden, I looked at her eyes, and they had changed to blue. Yeah. Nobody had anything on that would reflect the blue. And I let people come up in the audience and look at her eyes. I told her, the Lord to change the eyes as a sign. Now listen to this. That little boy went back to school and told what had
You
happened.
ministered to the little boy.
I did, yeah. I ministered to him, and the Lord healed him.
Yeah, yeah.
And he went back to school, and the teachers laughed at him and made fun of him, and he lost.
Told him it wasn't real.
It told him it wasn't true.
And he took it back.
Yeah. Now, you guys have such a marvelous gift that as it increases, you're going to want everybody to see what you do. The big thing you'll have to fight against is your ego wanting to display it.
This is the thing I'd like to say before we sign off today, is that, like in the case of the little boy who was healed, but when he went back to school and they did what they did, and it brought about a lot of self-doubt, and he stopped believing in it, and it came back. Is it possible, and I know the answer to this, but this just throwing this out as a what if, is it possible that the whole sickness was an illusion from the beginning?
Yeah.
And you were able to remove the illusion,
Yeah, I did.
but in his disbelief
Yeah.
of the healing,
Yeah.
the illusion came back.
That's right. But anyway, you guys have been really on the ball today. I see new one coming in. And you guys, as you go, remember some of the things that we say to you. And then the Spirit will, your spirit self will bring it to your consciousness and awareness.
Yes.
Thank you so much for the love gifts that you've given. And you see that where Miss Jill has put it up on the screen where you can give. And you guys have been absolutely wonderful.
Yes.
Miss Keeley, we love you too. We Miss Judy and all you little hearts out there. Vincent, Kelly.
Keely, I was thinking about you and wondering how
Miss
you
Tiffany,
were.
we love you. Miss Tiffany, I hope you're doing okay, girl. And look at you. I see you. And Vincent, Kelly, and all the little Norman Rockwell.
We so
and
appreciate you
Stockdales.
guys. We really, really appreciate you guys. And so
Leslie,
glad
yeah.
you were here to hear what we had to say today. Yes, Tiffany, remove the illusion.
That's right.
Yes, we do have power to remove the illusion, but it has to first be removed in ourselves.
That's right.
And that's what disillusionment is.
Yeah,
When we
that's
become disillusioned,
That's it.
it means that the illusion is falling away. So don't be resentful of the times that you feel disillusioned.
You are the endless pages of the Bible.
Yes. So if you would like to give, and I know you guys do like to give because you're wonderful like that, and you realize that when you're giving, you're the closest thing
Yes.
to God because God gave and He always gives. But if you want to do that, you can go to our website, which is the Cornerstone Life Center, or you can text CLC Greensboro to 73256. Or you can do paypal.me/cornerstone35. And if you just want to mail it and not use your online features, do P.O. Box 36259 Greensboro, North Carolina 27416. And of course, to bless Pastor and myself, and what goes to Cornerstone is not put in Pastor and my
right.
hands.
That's right.
It is going into the church,
Yep.
and then the church gives us a housing allowance. So we want you to continue to do your tithes and your offerings, and that helps us as well. But those of you who have been sending us love gifts through Cash App, you can do $A Sawyer C or paypal.me/ACE Sawyer 72. So we love you so much. And Jill, thank you for reminding us to please like on YouTube and subscribe. Like on Facebook as well. That helps us with the algorithm. So when people look for something spiritual, we come up at the top of the list, and they find us. They find us.
Go back to Miss Tiffany right there for a minute.
Go back to Tiffany.
Yeah, I want to show them who that person she had with her.
I don't know, honey. You'll have to ask
Okay.
her.
Look at here. Take a step. Take a step in your shoes and look down, and you'll see the footprint of Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
You are the mystical side of God, and God is your mystery, and you are there to manifest Him in reality every
Sinette,
day.
Sinette, thank you, sweetheart. We appreciate you, whether you've been able to give or not. We know that some people cannot give, and we're just grateful for those
Thank you.
that do, and for however much you give, we appreciate you.
Everything
thank you
you
so
do.
much. Just
Buzz,
thank you.
Sandra, all
Thank
of you
guys.
You
Thank
guys
you,
are really
Majari.
great.
Thank you, guys. We're going to take off here. We'll be back again on Tuesday at 7. Looking forward to seeing you, okay?
Remember, Jesus on the main line. Tell him what you want.
Tell him what you want. Really?
Oh, yeah.
Really? Tell him what you want?
Hey, your life is already speaking to him
Yeah,
because it is him that's living it.
it is.
I can't live like this no more. Forget it. You already doing it.
what does it mean when you say, I can't stand myself?
And that means you see some things about
You
yourself
see
that your mind.
you see a self.
You see your mind didn't blow because it
you
can't
see
take
a
it.
self that you don't like, and doesn't like itself.
Enjoy being absent from your false identity.
That sounds good.
Okay.
Sounds good.
See you next time.
Love you guys.
Enjoy your day.